Oh, it tells me, bro. It said this call we recorded.
Welcome back to the Average Podcast Enjoyers. If you're wondering why I'm saying welcome back on episode 1, that's because if you're a good boy, you've already listened to episode -1, which can only be listened to through a black hole computer.
Yeah, we have a premium membership for that.
Let us begin. So I have a very slick guy on today.
Yes, I'm probably the best guest you're ever gonna see, hands down.
And only.
This show's gonna peak this episode just solely because of my presence. So just letting you know that now. Don't watch again.
All right. And if you want to have more of his lore, you can subscribe to his YouTube channel. It is known as PewDiePie. He already has a lot of subs, but you can give him a few more.
Yeah, I've actually been stagnating for about a year, so if you could sub, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's called Prime 4867. Anyway,
Yes, that is I barely post. And most of my content is disconnected from each video, and like I don't really have much continuity. So
and if you'd like to know my YouTube channel, it's called James Pigeon. It's the channel
yes.
you're watching this video on.
Yeah, unless we put it on like Apple Podcasts.
Not gonna happen.
Okay.
So,
What's good? And we just lost 2 million viewers. Great.
No, hold up. I just can't.
Just off rip.
I should have planned something. Oh yeah. My idea. Previously, I'd come up with an idea to put the horse inside of the car because I was thinking that more horse gives you more horsepower, but you said that's cap. But I've come up with a solution. If we have the horses going on treadmills, then we can theoretically stack them and have infinite.
Okay. So yeah, you told me about this, and also this was invented with the Nature Mobile, if you remember.
Yes, but they only used one horse, so it's 1 horsepower, but I think we can do a lot better. I don't think they ever actually drove that. But think about this. What is stopping us from just stacking 100 horse treadmills on top of each other and then using that electricity? Is there?
I mean, there you have the ethics discussion. You have
Side house.
the volume discussion.
Well, eventually, though, do you? I'm wondering. Is there a limit where adding all the extra weight of the horse treadmills counteracts the electricity you get?
I mean, probably. You could. I mean, you'd have to like do some math on that to figure it out. I just think that overall, like gas or electric powered vehicles are just far more efficient.
Well, this would be an electric powered vehicle, but the electricity comes from horse.
Well, it's also biofuel powered because you have to keep the horses alive.
Well,
You have to have 2 different fuel sources.
It's indirect. Well, you also have to have 2 different fuel sources for the gas car. So
I just think that the straight up cars that can generate a ton more horsepower are like a lot better.
well, you know what cars used to run? Oil.
Okay,
What was that sound?
I have no idea.
And you know,
Did the recording end?
no.
Okay, I don't know what that was.
And you know that oil only costs like $60 a barrel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking, is it possible to just buy 1 barrel of oil and get it delivered to your house?
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know. You might have to have some sort of authorization.
I mean, is that legal? I mean, it feels like pretty dangerous, but
I mean, they probably have. That's probably the price for like putting in a work order at a company
what
for
is?
oil. Like that, like $6 a barrel. That's what companies pay when they put in work orders for oil.
Well, that's for the stock market, like trading oil. I mean, it's not a stock, but it's a commodity.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But you
then
have to buy.
guess-
You have to buy in 1,000-barrel quantities.
I guess then, so you own the oil. Could you just get all the oil that you own legally just delivered to your house?
Yeah, but I don't know if the company will send it because they don't have like infrastructure. Like all their infrastructure is like oil well to the refinery to wherever. They're not gonna like have routes set up to your house, and they might crash out if you make them do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is we ask very Googleable questions here, so you
Yeah.
could do that if you want.
No, we just speculate on this podcast. We don't Google stuff. We just speculate.
Okay. Well, yes, and this is a perfect time now, I think, to say that if you haven't answered any of our questions or a thought to add, you may comment down below, and we will reply to you in the next episode.
Yes. Also about economics, I was reading, negative price.
Okay.
Some objects have a negative price.
So does that mean what I think it means, where you have to, where the owner has to pay you to take it off their hands?
Yeah, you have to pay people to accept it. Examples of a negative price is radium. Because I was looking at the Wikipedia table for the price of every element, and for radium, it was negative.
Hmm.
So if you have radium, you have to pay people to take it. Same
And
thing
what's the what's do you know the reasoning behind that?
is radium's very dangerous.
True.
I think it's probably illegal. And the least expensive element I think is hydrogen.
Right. That makes sense. It has the highest supply, thus the lowest demand.
And the most expensive was I think californium. The most expensive that's traded. A lot of them are not sold actively, like oganesson.
Right. Due to the instability.
I think, but the most expensive was californium. It costs a lot of money. The prices per kilogram were like a lot. Cause it's usually bought in like micrograms or less even, I don't know. It's you know what else is a negative price?
What?
Garbage.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You have to pay the garbage guy to take your garbage. They get both the money and the good, as opposed to like an
Yeah.
exchange.
I mean, you're not really like trading the garbage away. You're kind of just like paying the garbage man to do his job. Is the difference, I think.
Well, he's paying a negative price for the garbage. Also, theoretically, if you had enough coupons stacked, you could get a negative price at a store where they have to pay you.
Well, unless it's a percentage, because if it's a percentage, it's just gonna like approach zero.
Yeah, but if it's not.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just like however many dollars, that's why you really only see those percentages because they don't want to end up having to pay you.
Yeah, but what if you just stacked every coupon you ever received for one store in your entire life and then spent it all and like cleaned out the store and for $0?
That would, I mean, that would be pretty funny, but that means you have no discounts for your entire life up until that
Well,
point
I guess
if you're saving every
they would have
coupon.
expired.
Yeah, that's the thing too. They do have the coupons. Again, all these infrastructures are in place to keep them from stacking because they expire, so you can't hoard, and they're listed as percentages instead of raw dollar amounts off, so they don't end up as a negative price.
Yeah, well, during COVID, oil had a negative price.
That's very strange. Was that a brief episode where it had a
Very
negative price?
briefly, because
Yeah.
no one wanted oil,
Yeah,
and
but I mean, oil obviously is a commodity that is highly sought after, so it
and the
probably bounced
eh,
right back up.
and the Russians and Arabians were in a oil price war where they were both trying to pump out as much as possible. So there was extreme raised supply and extreme lowered demand, and it went negative. So you had to pay or oil owners had to pay the storage companies to like hold their oil, so it had negative value.
It's very goofy,
There's also you know how there's goods and services?
right? Yeah.
Well, along with goods, there's also bad.
There's bads.
Yeah, bads have a negative value. Like garbage is a bad.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Also, there was what was it? I learned about this concept when I took economics. I don't know if you guys have done it
Average.
yet, but it was about like normal goods versus inferior goods,
I don't know what that is.
and I can't remember the difference. It's about something with like how when the price changes, like normal. Hold on. I need to figure this out because
We
it
don't
might be
Google
similar to
stuff
what
on
you're
this
talking about.
podcast.
Yes. Oh yeah, I remember. So a normal good is when so as consumer income rises, a normal good's demand goes up, but an inferior good is a good that when consumer income rises, the demand goes down.
Oh,
So it's like
like
yeah.
what?
So like maybe a normal good would be like a super expensive car because as consumer income rises, the demand for a more expensive car increases. But I don't know, say like I don't have a good example of like an inferior good. Um, I don't know, maybe like store brand or like inorganic stuff. Like as your consumer income goes up, those are demanded less because people can afford, you know, organic or name brand items. It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing.
You're a strange thing. Speaking of strange things, someone on this podcast doesn't believe in my plan to touch the mantle, and it's not me.
Uh, okay.
What was
What,
that?
bro? Why does that sound keep cooking? I'm worried about the recording.
Would you care to elucidate on why you don't believe in my plan?
I just think that it's not very cost efficient, and you have a lot of issues. You wanted to drill into the ocean, but there are a lot of issues with water pressure that arise from that. Water pressure does not work the same as air pressure. It compiles much quicker,
Well, what if you do
and
it from
it's
land then?
then you deal with the heat problems that the Russians had when they tried to drill.
Well, what if we put a refrigerator or ice down there?
Bro,
No, I'm being serious. Think about it. What if we put a giant heat sink down there? That way, all the heat
again,
from
we circle back to cost here.
heat sinks aren't that expensive.
Yeah, but one to continually cool off a region as fast as the hole you're gonna dig over and over and
No,
over
it's not going
again
to be a big
until
hole.
all the way until you reach the mantle. People think of the mantle as really close. Think about how far the Russians dug,
No, but they were
and
going
then
on
they didn't
land.
even they barely cooked the crust, bro.
No. The mantle's only 3 miles deep if you go under the water. It's called the Moho discontinuity.
But again, the water has you have water pressure issues. We need
Okay,
to
well, people have been to the Mariana Trench, so clearly that is
yes, in
circumventable.
submarines, which again
Yeah,
are extremely expensive.
put the drill in a submarine.
But again, we don't have the money for that, bro.
We have if you all the money on Earth, we definitely could do it if we actually wanted
I
to.
thought you alone wanted to do this.
No, I don't mean me. I mean like humanity.
Okay, I mean, sure, we might eventually be able to do that.
We could do it right. We could do it today. We could do it in the 60s. They were just lazy. They literally canceled the project.
Yeah. Well, you've been making it sound like you alone. You said I want to touch the mantle. My plan to touch the mantle.
Yeah, it's my plan. They do it, and I get to touch it, and then they can touch it when it's cold. I
Yeah.
just want
I don't
to.
know, bro.
I heard it's like caramel. You don't understand. Don't you want to touch a mantle?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really care that much about it.
Well,
You have fun though. You can go ahead.
the lunar magma ocean. That's what could be touchable.
The lunar magma ocean, huh?
Yes, many billions of years ago, the moon had an ocean on it of magma 1 kilometer deep called the lunar magma ocean.
Is this like based on geological evidence?
Yes.
That's very slick.
The moon is very true.
The moon is an interesting object. You know, some people think we didn't go there, but it's kind of
You
goofy.
know who didn't land on the moon?
Who,
Humanity. It was a cover
bro?
up by the femoids.
Okay. I suggest you cut yourself off there.
They were
People are gonna
trying to
think you.
make.
People are gonna think you aren't joking, bro.
I'm
People don't
joking.
have critical thinking skills these days.
I'm not joking. They were trying to make.
This is what I mean, bro. And they're gonna take it
They were trying to
seriously.
make the incel nation, the chuds, they were trying to make the chuds satisfied that they wouldn't
I don't think
have
they
to.
call themselves chuds. I could be wrong, but
I thought they wouldn't. How you wouldn't know. You weren't invited to the party, and you're mad.
Yeah,
They
true, true.
they weren't. They were trying to make the chuds satisfied, to be dominated by the femoids and the chads. I've read all about this on Discord.
I've read all about this on incels.is, my favorite website.
No. Travast. They think about it. Think about it. What is the moon shaped like?
It's roughly spherical.
Yeah. What else is spherical? Testicle. Anyway, no. Your Honor, case closed. No further questions.
Okay,
Do you have a retort to that?
I mean, I know you're like not being serious, so no, I don't have a retort.
I love rage baiting, but that was not
Yeah,
an example. I'm dead serious. Anyway, you know, they used to have clubs in England during the 1700s.
clubs.
Yeah,
Like what kind of like football clubs?
no, they're called Hellfire clubs.
What did they do?
Cinery, just like intentionally.
Oh, so they were just like a gang basically.
Well, it was just a bunch of rich politicians who got together and like like looked at porn and like got prostitutes and stuff. And they did like pagan rituals.
That's very weird. It's sort of strange. We think of people back then as like more proper or less degenerate, but they were equally, if not more, degenerate.
Yeah, they were very goofy. It was very repressed.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Now we might even be less degenerate these days because back then it was not socially acceptable to even allude to that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, there was also there was a club called the Second Circle Club or the Second Circle
what, as in the
Society.
second circle of hell?
Yeah, for lust.
It's very goofy.
Because they were just like degens, and they like sacrificed stuff to Bacchus apparently.
Bacchus.
Yeah, the Greek god of like wine.
What did Bacchus do to them, bro? Like just like stay away from bro.
I they're larpers, and they it's like actually extreme larp. There were rumors
I
that
guess Bacchus is like the god of wine, so it's just like another degen that they wanted to cook.
there were rumors that they did like actual Satanism, but I think that's probably not true. Although I don't know. Speaking of Greek
I
paganism,
mean, they draw the line as Satanism, so they do everything that you know that Satan would say is based, and then but actually like praising him is where they draw the line. That
well,
doesn't
I
make
don't
much
know.
sense.
There were rumors, but I think it was probably like exaggerated. But speaking of Greek paganism, I was trying to find the last guys who believed in like Apollo and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think very many people did. They kind of treated them as stories,
Yeah, but
even back in the day.
there were some who were like grinders, but there was a Greek tribe called the Maniots who were like active like Greek pantheon enjoyers into the 1000s.
That's fully late, bro.
And they're a very I don't want to offend any Maniot enjoyers, but you guys have a very bad culture.
I don't know if they're still around, bro.
No, okay, there are like a few who are like in like claimers, but
But I mean, do they still believe in the Greek pantheon?
no, they got converted to Christianity, but they like I don't know how seriously they took it because they like combined it with their rituals. Also, their main source of income as a people was piracy, and they literally had priests bless their pirate ships before going out. Like I just don't know how seriously they were taking it if they were like actively doing like piracy enjoyers.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird.
Because like thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, kind of just like flagrantly. They also had a thing called the vendetta system, which is kind of similar in other cultures, where they would one family, like one guy would do something goofy to one family, and then the family would say declare a vendetta against the other family, where they would basically it would just like the two families would be in a war where they just murdered any member of that family, until one family was dead.
It's very Shakespearean.
Yeah, they would lock themselves up in their castle because I guess each family had like a small castle, each
Right,
like
yeah.
each like clan,
As
and
one
then
does.
whenever they saw a guy of the other family, they just murk him, and it would just go until they're both dead. And the townspeople would also go in the castles to like not get caught in the crossfire.
So
And
was it sort of a was it and I mean I'm very naive on this, but was it a religiously infused war on another group of people?
what'd you say?
Was it sort of like a jihad
I
in
don't
its
think
own
it would,
way
no, I
against a
don't think it was
specific family?
religious. I think it was just they like didn't like the other family.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't motivated by their beliefs.
No, I think it was like if they wronged them. Like if one guy from one family murked one guy for another family for like a random reason, then the two families have to kill each other to like preserve honor. It's very goofy. They have that in
Yeah, that's
Albania.
a strange
The
practice.
last one required like one to break up, it required like 1,000 Greek police and like 2,000 soldiers and stuff.
When was that? When was this?
I don't know. 1800s maybe. I didn't couldn't find.
Okay, hopefully, imagine if it was like 2005. Anyway,
Last week.
yeah,
No, but like we're we're not we're not trying to be offensive here on the average podcast enjoyers, but but
we freely express our opinions, and if you disagree, you may freely express your
I think if
disagreement.
your culture primarily revolves around piracy and blood feuds, you're it's just like I you gotta improve it. Well,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
guess it
there's a
died.
sort of
There's like two of them left, but still.
yeah. It also yeah, the odds of one of them tuning in is kind of crazy, but
I was also thinking about uh the last guys to like do stuff. Like the last people to practice the ancient Egyptian religion were apparently some isolated desert guys in like the 600s.
right. Okay, so that's even older. So even so, after 600, there just were zero left. That actually surprises me.
Well, there might have been like one guy, like
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, but like the last like community and the last pagans in Europe, the last like fully pagan country in Europe was Lithuania, who got converted fully in like the 1300s.
So the last country that had a pagan religion as an official religion.
Pretty much in the 1300s is like when they like all got. I think it went into the 1400s, but like yeah. And but like there was also the last pagans in England was on the Isle of Wight in the 6 or 700s, I believe. 6 7 reference.
Okay, that's a bit corny, but we'll move on.
What's your opinion on 6 7?
I think that mainly my main thoughts are that it's very I honestly just think it's annoying. I mean, even beyond any kind of discussion, because there's an argument over whether it has any philosophical depth as a commentary on brain rot itself, or if it's literally a nothing burger and isn't even self-aware. I just think whichever one is true, it's just annoying when, I mean, especially sort of last year when it was popular. Nowadays people say it less, but when it was popular sort of late last year, and any time the number 6 and the number 7 were said in the same sentence, it was just like, because I'm in high school, right? So it was just like instant laughter. It was very, 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 very annoying.
You're out of the loop. You're out of touch with the youth culture. 6 7 is very genius.
I'm in the youth. It was my peers doing this.
No, no, but they weren't like that's not who it's for. It's for the like 12-year-old set.
Yeah, but even they seem to be abandoning it, I think.
I don't think you understand what kind of philosophical merit 6 7 has.
I don't think it has much philosophy. I think it has philosophical merit. I'll put it like this: you can assign philosophical merit post mortem, but I don't think that during its. I don't. Let's put it this way: I don't think Maverick Trevelyan was putting any philosophical merit behind it when he. I don't think that was his plan. As when an
No,
author writes a
no.
symbol in a book. I don't think it's the
Maverick
same thing.
Trevelyan will go down as the great Socrates of our time.
Is that so? I honestly don't think he'll be in the history. I think he will at most uh an image of his warped face as the 6'7" meme will be in a history textbook about like mid 2020s brain rot at most.
Full chapter in every world history textbook now on. And think about it. 6'7", it is a word that means nothing except that you know that it means nothing. It is simply a signifier. Can you think of another word like that that merely serves to identify you with a certain social population with a certain in group? I mean, it's almost like a password that if
Yeah, I
you
mean you can talk about
know
like
the
gang
joke.
signs.
Gang sign. Yeah, it is kind of like a gang sign. 6'7". It's a word that it's literally just like a test for if you're like part of if you're in the know, if you're part of the youth culture.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, actually, it kind of fails that now because the middle aged folk of our world have begun to realize, you know, I mean, not that it even works at all, but how it works, and they'll
Well,
say
yeah.
it.
Well, I think we need a new one. I propose Blimmy.
What?
Blimmy. Blimmy.
Blimmy.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just same meaning as 6'7", and the associated hand signal is side to side.
That's very, very cheeks.
But another of the last guys to do something. I'm wondering, and I cannot find a clear answer on this. The last native Latin speaker.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. So I can actually give some commentary on this. So I know that, um, here's what I know about the end of a language is that of course it disseminates into the modern Romance languages. We all understand that. But there are such things as tombstones from even when the Western Roman Empire was still technically together. There are tombstones where you can start to see the influence of what would later become Spanish in Latin orthography, such as um, B's, the letter B replacing V's, and it's very weird to see. So
Yeah.
you can see where the language dies. So it's like, where do you consider Latin itself ending? Which I think you have to decide first before you can decide when the last native speaker was.
I mean, it's just like a discontinuity, right? It's just like not a discontinuity, just a
Yeah.
continuity, right? I guess you would have to draw a line in the sand, but
Yeah. At what point does it become so corrupted you can no longer call it even late Latin,
I mean,
let
who's
alone
the last guy
classical
to be
Latin?
fluent in classical Latin? Although I guess that again, that's the whole issue.
Yeah. So of course it starts to die out. You know, once the West falls, because the Byzantines would rather speak Greek, and then things such as, I guess
I
if you want to draw the line on the sand at classical Latin, I mean,
I know that I read that Justinian the First was the last emperor to be a native Latin speaker, and the others were raised to speak Greek.
yeah, I
But
mean,
there must have been some like isolated peasant guy who was
it was
still.
probably like a Byzantine guy or like somebody in Italy, like a random dude.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible to know. They probably didn't record it
Yeah, I guess Justinian the
because,
First might be
like,
the last
we
guy we have
don't we
proof.
don't view, like, in the same way as how we categorize our language, English, into modern, early modern, middle, old, right?
Yeah.
As those changes are occurring, the people at the time aren't like consciously aware, oh shoot, like we're entering a new era of English.
Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't
In a
just
similar
happen one
manner, we
day.
might be doing the same thing with modern English. We're losing a lot of grammatical aspects as the years go on, such as the who whom distinction.
It's true, creating the 6-7 distinction.
But we don't like document that and be like, oh, this is the last guy to use whom in like a novel. So I think in a similar vein, they probably didn't realize that Latin was being plummeted, and so they didn't like bother recording like, okay, this guy
Yeah.
speaks Latin, but this guy speaks like poop Gaelic or
I
something.
guess it's like asking who was the first guy to speak Spanish. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know. There
It's like,
wasn't really.
yeah, it's again like, where do you draw the line between what's Latin with B's and what's Old Spanish?
Yeah, there was a saying, "Beautiful Spain, where to live is to drink," which is apparently some
Exactly.
Latin pun.
Be beer.
Well, because it was Beate España something something Latin. Because they were
Yes,
like,
because in Latin, vivere is to live and bibere is to drink.
yeah, but they sounded the same in the Spanish,
Yes.
in the Latin version that they spoke.
Something that I would like to bring up now. I've been reading Stephen King's book on writing, a memoir of the craft.
I thought you said it wasn't good.
Well, I decided I'm gonna just get through it. So let's see. I'm on page 144,
True.
and so I'm like roughly halfway done. Actually, a little less than halfway done because there's like a bit over 300 pages. Um, and it's a strange. He spent the vast majority, like probably the first 120 pages, like just going over his life, his wife, his kids, his parents, how he got inspiration for his early novels like The Shining and Carrie.
He's not a
But
very concise man.
very recently, he's been just like he started like actually talking about like writing skill, which is what I came there to learn about.
Yeah.
And he discusses this thing called the toolbox. He calls it the toolbox, and he says that it's your set of writing skills that you need to remember to carry with you wherever you go and employ properly.
Well, what
And he
are they?
says that he has a very interesting. So first of all, he went on like a 6-page rant against the passive voice, and
Wait,
then like a
why?
3-page rant against using adverbs and dialogue attribution.
Wait, what? Wait, explain. Wait, what's the passive voice again? I'm selling.
It's when the subject receives. So it's like the chair was sat on by the boy instead of the boy
Well,
sat
why
on
does
the
he
chair.
hate the passive voice? It can be useful.
He says it sounds timid and like isn't and doesn't like
Right.
take control of the sentence.
Well, what? That's goofy. And what did he say against
He didn't.
adverbs?
I here's the thing. This is my one disagreement. He kind of made it seem like there weren't really any places where it can sound good. I think that if you're trying to be mysterious or you don't want the reader to know who's performing the action, like saying he was killed instead of Timothy killed him. If you don't want the reader to know that Timothy is the killer, you leave that secret, and the passive voice is a good tool for that. That's where I would use it.
You can use his someone killed him.
Yeah, but even that just kind of, I don't
Sounds
know. It
weird.
doesn't carry the same weight in my opinion. I think the passive voice can be used in in that way. But then he also says that adverbs should be used sparingly and should never be used as what he calls dialogue attribution, where someone will say, she screamed menacingly. He says that she screamed is satisfactory. If you've written good prose, the menacingly should be implied, he says.
Oh yeah, that it does sound kind of cornball when people write that.
Yeah. I can
Although
actually pull
again,
a quote.
I
Hold
don't
on.
know how I feel about these hard rules for writing. I think it's like you should be experimental.
He did actually kind of comment on that, but he's very much of the camp like you have to know the rules to like break them kind
True.
of thing.
Makes actually,
Um
yeah.
wait, where was it? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's not like Picasso. It's not like all he ever. It's not like all he could do was the goofy face guys. He was actually a very good classical painter who then broke the rules to make the face guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to find a.
Know the rules before you break them. Interesting philosophy.
Yeah, actually, I can't really find like a concise quote. He kind of talked about it in like a very like half a page, so I'm not
I
gonna like
believe you.
bore you with that.
Yeah, I'm currently reading What If by Randall Monroe.
And is that the book of like proposed physics questions?
Yeah, it's where a guy's like, what would happen if I ate Mars? And then he like does the calcs and then writes about it. It's very vague.
Yes. Author is he the author of XKCD?
Yeah, he makes the XKCD webcomic.
It's a very interesting comic.
Yeah, it's a good comic. Updated 3 times weekly. But
It's sort of just like tongue in cheek humor, mostly about science. It's pretty good.
yeah, it's like a nerd version of a comic. But well, the at first it was a lot edgier, and he made jokes about like sex and stuff. But now it's more just like nerdism.
Yeah.
And just like goofy puns and stuff.
Hmm.
No, but I quite enjoy it. I think it's very well done.
A pig without 3.14 is simply 9.81.
True.
It's one of that's I found that yesterday while I was browsing the internet.
Hee hee hee. Ree hee hee. What's your opinion on the planet Thea?
Thea?
Yeah.
What's Thea?
Theia.
Hold on, I might have heard of that actually.
It's the proposed planet that hit the Earth to make the moon.
Oh wait, I thought that had a different name. Never mind. Oh yeah, and that was what. And the idea is that it sent a chunk off that became the moon.
Yeah, and that moon had the lunar magma ocean.
Is there any like is there any like astrophysical evidence or
Um,
cosmological evidence that actually occurred, or is it
I
just like
didn't
a
read the
possible
full. Yeah,
explanation?
I didn't go in. I didn't like research it fully, but apparently there's like d- um deformities in the core of the Earth that they can detect with radar or something, and those deformities point to evidence that it was hit by a planet
Interesting.
that left them there. But it's not proven. And I think it's like the most accepted theory, but it can't like explain everything perfectly. And there's some alternate theories, but it's the best we got. It's kind of like the Big Bang. It's not a perfect theory, and it leaves a lot of stuff ambiguous, but no one has come up with a better alternative.
Yeah, and again, it's another thing where there's sort of pieces of evidence, like what you said with Earth's deformities. In the Big Bang, you have the cosmic microwave background
Well,
radiation.
and the Earth's and the universe's expansion. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're like assuming it started somewhere and then kept
yeah.
expanding. Yeah, I mean, apparently the moon, if that theory is true, would have formed in like a few hours
That's very
or
goofy.
like a month or two. I think you would die though if you were living on Earth at that time.
Really?
Yeah, it was called the Hadean Eon.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
The first Eon was the Hadean, then the Archean, and then something else.
I
I
think
don't know.
that the air wasn't very breathable. It was mostly carbon dioxide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think life.
And the oceans were green because they were rich in iron.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think life had emerged in the Hadean Eon. But I'm not an Earth science.
I don't believe so. Let me
The
look it up.
LUCA, the last universal common ancestor. I'm not really an Earth science maxer, so I'm not an expert on this.
Oh, apparently, like there might have been.
Oh. I apparently rocks from the Hadean are
Oh,
very
apparently they found like
rare.
carbon signatures like from that era. So like there might have been life.
Oh. My grandpa. Apparently rocks from the Hadean are very rare, and there's only a few, and they're in Australia called the Jacks Hills site.
Interesting.
But I don't know how rocks are rare from there, because that's like when Earth formed, so you'd think there'd be a lot.
Yeah.
I guess they're at the bottom now. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Anyway. I mean, Theia was apparently like as big as Mars. So imagine Mars hitting Earth. I think it'd be pretty uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable is putting it rather lightly.
Would you like to live on Mars
Live on Mars. Now,
or Theia?
current
You can
Mars
pick.
or not Thea, because Thea's daxing. Hold up.
Well, would you live on
Maybe
current
you mean
Mars?
not current Mars? It would be too infrastructurally tenuous, in my
All right.
opinion.
What about Mars in 2050? Assuming there's like a small base for like 5 people, but it still like sucks.
Do I don't know. I mean, am I one of the five or am I a sixth that will have enough resources
You're
allocated to me?
obviously one of the five.
Okay, good.
I mean, your name's gonna go in the history books, maybe.
So
Although,
so you're telling me that in this scenario I'm likely an astronaut with a lot of training.
yeah. But you're living
Okay.
in
I
the
mean,
you're living in
I
the
might do
Elon
it. I might
Musk.
do it. I mean, how much faster is our space travel in this hypothetical scenario?
It's like probably the same. I mean, it's like a few
Okay,
years.
so I have to.
A
So
month.
if I ever want to dip, it's like a 7 month journey through space back to Earth.
Yeah, you're living in the Musk base, and basically you're ruled by Elon Musk, who operates through a webcam on this like weird robot guy. It's like a Wally with a screen that's like him FaceTiming you all the time,
You seem to have thought this through very thoroughly.
and he has a taser arm if you're disobeying him, and it's called Trump Force One is what the station is called.
Trump Force. Wow. Okay.
Well, after the late
Not Musk Force.
he out of respect he named it after the late emperor, and then. Would you live on Mars though 100 years in the future? You know, it's like a bigger base, few hundred people. It's still you still can't really like leave the base, but the spacesuits are more advanced, so you can go like a few hours without getting an oxygen refill.
Yeah, I'd be willing, especially because now you have a lot more people to interact with.
Yeah, although at this
It
point
wouldn't
other
be as
countries
boring.
have bases up, so you might get shot by the like don't go into the Chinese base territory because there's armed guys.
Right. Yeah. No.
All
No.
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about 1,000 years where there's like the terraforming is like barely starting and but there's like a city.
I mean, yeah. At that point, it's basically just like Earth 2, but like
I
drier.
mean, still sucks though.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally
But it's just like I'm living
1 million.
in New Austin, basically.
Finally, 1 million years, fully terraformed. It's green. There's like lakes.
I mean, absolutely. Assuming we're still around,
Yeah.
which is probably unlikely.
Speaking of the last guys to do something, who do you think the last guy was to use a passenger pigeon to send mail?
I mean, that one actually might be like
Knowable.
straight up recorded because we know that we know literally the last passenger pigeon to die. It was in a zoo.
No. Well, yeah, but you can use other types of pigeons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like who is the last guy? Do people still do it? I can't find a straight answer on this actually.
this says that on March 24th, 1900, a guy shot the last recorded wild passenger pigeon.
Yeah, no, but not pass like you. They did it in like World War One. Like passenger pigeon was one species that I believe they used for it. But who is the last guy to send like a male pigeon of any species? I know they did it in World War One.
Let me look up.
I mean, do people still do it? Do people still send male pigeons to each other's houses? I mean, it seems
I don't
pretty,
think so.
pretty slow and pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
What if your mail just gets eaten by a hawk? And also, I don't know how you're supposed to. How does the pigeon know the destination? Because I know it knows where your house is, but I'm assuming you have to take it to where it has to go and then take it back, or what? Does each pigeon just have like one route?
Apparently, it was a guy whose last name was Richards in World War One.
Last guy to send a pigeon.
Wait, hold on.
Because I feel like surely there must have been some guy. I mean, I
The
know
pigeon's body is taxidermied and on display at the Smithsonian.
what is that the pigeon named like Jeremy or something?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's just like there surely was one after that. Because it's just the most famous one.
And that's what keeps coming up. I'm looking up who's the last person to send a pigeon as like a
I
mail
don't know. We'll
carrier.
figure it out later. And the telegraph, right?
Yes.
Last guy to send a telegram was 2007, but I don't know who he is. I can't figure out what he sent.
We could break that. I mean, all we have to do is buy one and then send a thing.
No, but like okay, well there's like hobbyists that still do it. But the last guy to the last guy to go to a telegram company, say send this to a guy, and then they did it was 2007 in India.
Dude,
I
those
believe.
companies have
Was it
certainly
2007?
closed their doors by now.
Well, yeah, that was like the last one. I think it was 2007.
Yeah.
I might be confusing it with something else, but it was like in the 2000s. But I
Another
can't.
one, another one of those like weird relic of the past companies, like video rental stores and like Blockbuster, things like
Yeah,
that.
or
Those still
like,
existed in the early 2000s, but just no one used them.
who's gonna be the last guy to send a fax machine or like use a fax machine to send a fax?
I don't know. That's even dwindling. I've never sent a fax in my life. I've never even witnessed someone send a fax.
Yeah, but my dad like does.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I mean,
It's like just text them.
well, yeah, feel that fax sends the physical paper, but I think it's because like you could just download the file and print it out.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
if you
you
have a
could
fax
email them the
machine,
file and they can download it.
if you have a fax machine, you probably also have a printer. It's pretty weird if you had a fax machine and no printer. They're like you're like spending to get a fax and you can't buy a little printer. So there's not really
Yeah.
a point. But I
Also, if you're
mean,
using it in like an official circumstance at like an office building, your office building almost certainly has the resources to download and print a file.
well, yeah, well they didn't have the inkjet printers. Printers were like a big, they were annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. My yeah. My ancestor was a professional printer.
Like by hand.
Like for the newspaper.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
It was a very good job for an immigrant to have. It was like a well-paying job because it was a very it's in charge of a very big machine, you know. To print the newspaper. I don't know which newspaper. It was in Philadelphia. I don't know which newspaper.
I made like 4 cents a day though.
I mean, for back then though, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't actually know if it was. Anyway, this podcast is very bad. How much longer should we go?
I don't know. I think we should just go until it naturally
Who do you think
unfries.
last guy to use a horse?
That's a future statement. People still ride them.
What was the what I would you know what
If
who
I mean militarily, it was France. That's just like known. They like spammed it until
when?
like way too long. I think they were even using them in World War II.
Well, yeah, but they used no, they used horses in Ukraine. I just remembered the
Oh, well, that's
Russians
out of like Desperado. Like France like chose to use cavalry.
and the Polish. I don't they used it in Afghanistan though, because literally the mountains are too hard to drive cars on, and the Afghans are pretty good at some of those tribes are very skilled at horse riding.
Yeah. What was last? I wonder what the last time they used a war elephant was. Like a Carthage.
How like ancient? Don't war elephants suck?
Last war elephant ever used.
I know the last chariot used in combat was it was in like 80, 50.
Oh my gosh.
What?
World War II. The Allied forces in the Pacific. Oh, they used them for like logistics.
Well,
They used elephants to like carry stuff, not like to fight.
yeah, my great grandfather was in. I wonder if he saw an elephant because he was in Burma in World War
Supply
II.
transport in Vietnam. Okay, the last one that was used in like combat was in a war in Southeast Asia in the 1800s.
Oh, it makes sense. My yeah. Anyway, what was I yapping about?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
I do not hold it in memory.
Well, you've studied this stuff. Didn't war elephants were like not that good because they're like they take a lot of resources, and if they get spooked, they like crush your own guys.
Yes, they were mainly used as an intimidation tactic by the Carthaginians because the Romans had never seen an elephant. So they were like, "What the?" and we're very like terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Imagine you've the biggest animal you've ever seen is like a horse,
Or an
and then
orc.
yeah, and then you walk like across the sea. They're charging you, and it's this gigantic gray behemoth. By the way, these are like African land elephants because it's like Carthage.
They
These are the
didn't have.
biggest elephants there are.
I thought they were. Wait, they didn't have elephants in like the Gladiator. Was that later?
That was later when they conquered Carthage. They were like, we're going to use these guys.
Oh yeah, I guess the Romans were pretty like little boys back then.
Yeah, they were this is during the Punic Wars when they were fighting Carthage. They would I mean, they were like, bro, what's this gigantic like monument gray thing with huge tusks and like a trunk? It like looked very exotic and weird, and they were very scared.
Yeah,
Reportedly,
maybe they were the. Are you
I'm
sure they
not sure if it
were?
was exaggerated by Carthaginian reports, but
Are you sure they were African elephants, or were they not? I thought there was like a smaller type of elephant that's extinct now.
maybe it was. I mean, I just kind of assume. Hold on,
But then
what?
I don't know if you could ride that one because if it's small, I don't know if you can ride it to the same extent with like multiple guys on top.
They used the now extinct North African elephant, the Loxodonta africana pharaohensis.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
Oh
like,
yeah, you're right. It was a small subspecies. Let me see on Wikipedia.
I thought we don't Google stuff on this podcast.
Bro, I just like absorbing knowledge. I'm gonna like look up stuff.
True, true.
I don't just want to speculate, be like, yep, guess we'll leave it to like, because I'm gonna forget and I like want to know.
Nulla informatio est levior conservatione.
Yeah, subspecies of the African bush elephant is what it's thought.
Anyway, oh, it's a subspecies.
Oh, it's also referred to as the Carthaginian. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, it daxed. Hold on.
I know the last time
It died.
chariots
It went extinct. It's remember that it went extinct in the 300s.
the last time chariots were used in battle was actually against the Romans, and it was in I think 8056, and it was by the Scottish. It's a very
Interesting.
obscure battle. There's like one guy who wrote about it, and it was chariots were very outdated by that point. But chariots were used in combat in no, not this millennium actually, the last millennium, but like only by 26 years.
They were possibly similar in size to the modern day African forest elephant, which itself is critically endangered.
Within 1000 years ago, chariots were used in combat.
That's
Wait,
very
that's
goofy.
not true. 2000 years ago.
Wait, yeah. What are you saying, bro?
Well, um, what who do you think was the last Neanderthal? Because that would be a very sad existence. Literally being the last of your entire species, and there had to be a last one, unless they were all wiped out in like one time.
Or I mean, there's several theories as to how they went away. So
Yeah, but I
if they
just
just like evolved, you'll get to the like weird thing with the line in the sand. Like, what do you consider it's no longer a Neanderthal?
well, yeah, but they like went extinct at some point. There was a last one. Like, well,
Oh,
because like
the last Neanderthals are believed to have died out around 40. Oh, that's weird, bro.
what?
It's like some guy like made like a rendering of like what one would look like today in like modern society. It's like very spooky.
Okay, well, I know that there's a theory that they were like smarter than us, but they didn't and they were stronger. And I saw a theory that the reason we survived, one reason could be that they were stronger, so they would just brute force like beat their prey to death with clubs. But because we were too scrawny, we developed ranged weapons and like communicated, and that helped us.
Okay, so according to
I don't know how
like
true that
fossil
is.
records, they retreated to Iberia, and then they had like a last stand where they probably died, and then it's like unknown how they died. It could have been like climate change, like
Yeah, but just
genocide, disease, interbreeding.
imagine being the last one though. That's got to be sad.
Okay, let's see. Yeah.
Well,
Ooh,
like
they were like
we don't know who he is, but just like imagine being literally the last guy of your entire species. Like it's probably some old guy just sitting alone in Gibraltar, just looking out over the sea, knowing that your entire line just ends there, bro.
I'm just like researching them. Yeah, it's I
Locking.
mean it's not on how they died. They're if they didn't interbreed, that means there was like a last one. Because if they died from like disease or like that means there
Well,
was
even
like
if they
literally a last
even
one.
if they interbred, there's a last one. There's the last pure one. There's the
Yeah,
last
there is the last
100%.
pure Neanderthal. But it's like then you have a kid who's like
Half.
half Neanderthal, half Homo sapien. Do you consider him a Neanderthal or a human?
Uh, I don't know, but just wouldn't that be sad though? Just sitting there at the edge of the cliffs, knowing that it's Bover.
Yes, similar to Napoleon Bonaparte.
All right. There's nothing we can do. What is it?
That you want to talk about an old meme, not even with 6'7".
Tommy
You can talk
Esprit to
about
the vase, je
yes,
ne
you can talk about. There's nothing we
pas
can do.
you. It's such a tough song, bro. That's so
Yeah,
sad.
it's like a teenage romance song. It's not even about like
No,
military
no, no,
defeat.
no,
It's like
no.
very weird.
And think about like the last. There's something sad about being the last of something. I mean, I guess it could be happy if you're like the last guy to die of cancer. I mean that like sucks for you, but you'd probably be happy for everyone
I
else.
mean, that's like, bro, I just missed it.
Yeah, but I mean you'd be happy like that like cancer's over.
True. Yeah.
But like a lot of most things that are the last, like you probably said, like what's gonna be the last? I don't know. Like think about like the last Civil War veteran. I mean, he was the last one.
Yeah. I mean, that one's probably documented.
I mean, yeah, I think it is. I mean, the last Civil War widow only died like a few years ago, but that was because she married like an 80-year-old Civil War vet when she was like 20. So it's like very technically. She
Albert
was
Henry Wilson was the last verified surviving veteran of the American Civil War. He died in 1956.
free.
He was born in 1850, so he was serving when he was like 14. Like,
Yeah. I mean, pretty soon the last
oh, he
world
was a drummer boy.
pretty soon the last World War II veteran will die.
The Civil War passed out of living memory when he died at 106.
Right? The last World War II veteran.
Yeah, they're still alive, right?
I mean, but not much long. I mean, I mean, at least for America, there's probably some like 7-year-old German guy, but like at least for America, if you
There are
were,
thousands still alive
yeah, but in America or worldwide?
worldwide.
Oh, well,
Oh,
that's
100 since 2023, roughly 130 passed daily, like World War II veterans.
bro. It's. Imagine the last Vietnam veteran. That's kind of crazy.
Last World War One veteran. Let's see.
It was a woman. I thought.
Yes. Oh no. No, it was a man. Frank Buckles died in 2011.
Oh,
He passed. Yeah, age 110. He enlisted in the army at 16, serving as an ambulance driver in France, and was later a civilian POW during World War II. Bro, dude, you're a veteran of World War One, and then you're a civilian prisoner of war in the next one. That's such, bro, L existence, bro. That's a free.
free. It's like how there was a guy that was in Hiroshima. It got bombed, so he like fled to
He
Nagasaki.
fled to Nagasaki.
It's
Yeah,
a free.
I heard about.
It's
Yeah,
very
that.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
Although I
there's.
guess
I
he's
mean,
lucky. I mean, he survived
yeah,
both.
that is some horrendous. Didn't he survive both of them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what a
I
Chad.
think that is some acute luck. He has the luck enchantment. How did we get here?
Yeah,
Have you ever done How Did We Get Here?
in Minecraft you're talking
Yeah,
about?
the Minecraft enchantment where
No,
you have every effect.
I haven't done that. No.
It's very hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine you have to like. I've seen people do. You have to build like this whole contraption and like fire it all off like frame perfectly.
And you have to be near Ocean Monument to get
Oh yeah, to
the
get the
mining
slowness
fatigue.
or yeah, mining fatigue.
And you have to get now there's new effects with the Warden, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta like go now. You gotta go to the deep dark. You probably have to
But then
like
how do you
bring the
get
warden
no? But
out.
because you couldn't get the Warden thing and the Ocean thing at the same time. You know, I must have to bring the Warden up.
Yeah. There's also one where you have to do like almost all of them called a furious cocktail.
I think that's every potion.
Oh wait, yeah. I just seen it. I just speculated because in all the videos they always get a furious cocktail like a couple seconds before getting how did we get here?
Yeah, I think it's every potion effect. I like don't really use potions in Minecraft. I don't really brew them.
Yeah. The only ones I ever really use are water breathing if I'm fighting the Elder Guardian. And fire resistance if I want to like swim in the nether for whatever reason.
There's gonna be a last guy to play Minecraft too.
There will be.
I mean,
There will be a last dude, there was already a last guy to like use the online like Nintendo Wii services.
well, it probably went out at like there were probably multiple people on at the same time.
Yeah.
But I guess there was a
There was
plank
a
second.
bro. There was like probably. I don't think it is down to the plank second. If you go down to the plank second, there's like a last guy to be on Club Penguin.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
I mean, yeah, because his computer is like slightly farther away and took like not even a millisecond, like a very a very small
Yeah,
amount of
it's
time
based
to
on
run.
like your distance from like the central server of the
Technically,
game.
but it's like negligible, but technically.
Yeah, what a yeah. There's also a last guy to probably be on Red Dead Redemption 1's online.
When did that come down?
I don't know, but it's gone now. You can't play it.
There's
I
a
don't
lot.
think anyway. I mean, I have it on Steam. There's no option to go
There's
online. The
gonna
only
be
thing
a
you can play
last
is
guy.
zombies.
There's gonna be a last guy to play the ending of Red Dead Redemption 2.
True. Again, we're talking like probably many years in the future. If somehow like the
Yeah.
media just gets lost to
Well,
time.
it's gonna get long. I mean, unless it gets extremely no, because even then, but unless
Yeah.
it
I
gets
mean, only things that are like the Bible like don't get lost to time. It has to be something that's like super revered and
well, I
preserved over and
mean,
over again.
or it has to get very, very lucky and just complete
Yeah.
chance, like that, because we have ancient Mesopotamian tablets that are like random receipts for like a guy buying beer, but it's a lot of it is because they got lucky because I know that they kept the clay wet so they could like rewrite on it for sometimes, and if there's a fire, it would
Yeah,
like.
well, yeah, you could like scratch it out with a little pencil and like write new stuff on
But
it.
if there's a fire at your house, it would like flash harden all your tablets.
Right, yeah. So whatever was written on there would be petrified.
And of course, we have the Ian Asir copper complaint, which I saw in person.
Wait, where is that located?
Hold on. What?
Where is that located that you saw in person, the copper complaint?
It's in the British Museum, I believe.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's a very famous on the internet. You do know it, right?
Yeah, I mean I haven't been to England, but yeah, I know of it.
No, but you know what it is, right?
What, the copper complaint?
Yeah.
I mean I haven't like read it. Isn't it some like yapping about copper?
It's a guy complaining about a copper merchant named Ian Asir who sold him like low quality copper, and it was like a bad review.
Oh, wait. Okay, I was thinking of something else.
No,
Okay.
and then Ian Asir, the absolute shad, hung it on his wall, and that's why we still have it.
The one I do know about is the one where there's I think it's a Mesopotamian guy complaining that the new generation is like cooked.
Oh yeah, there's a guy saying like all the youth are very corrupted, and we're
It's like they're rotting their brains by reading books.
yeah, or that might have been the Greek. There was one thing where it's like everyone is writing a book and the world is very scary.
Yeah, it goes to show like I think there's a lot of panic among the older generations about what the youth is going to
Bro.
do. Like I talked to my grandparents and they're like, yeah, we thought Gen X was cooked, and then it's like the world is still spinning.
They were kind of irrelevant though. There's
Yeah, but I mean,
probably
like like the world didn't explode.
there was probably wait, no, bro. There's gonna be a last guy to write a book. There's gonna be a last book. Just
There's
objectively. There's
the
gonna be a
last
last
paper
book.
book. I wonder if the last paper book is actually like kind of in the near future.
Probably not, because there's gonna be some guy who just like enjoys it and just for the love of the game like
Yeah,
writes
well,
it.
again, like what you said about telegrams, like aside from hobbyists,
The last commercially sold one.
yeah, like the last commercially sold paper book.
Well, I mean, we
Because
still have
again, the
paintings.
prevalence of ebooks, because people just like they like having everything in like one little multi-purpose tool in their
Yeah, I
pocket,
don't know,
which
but
is the cell phone.
we still have like paintings, and cameras have been around for almost 200
Yeah,
years at this
but
point.
again, being an artist is not really a career anymore. It's very you have to like it's just like you're
Yeah, but
shooting a dice.
we're not talking about a lot of them. We're talking about literally the one. But I guess
Yeah.
just technically, unless like there will be a last painting made by on Earth by humans, because just eventually, like the universe is not of an
Yeah,
infinite.
even if we somehow like fry up like Red Giant.
There's gonna be a last. There's just objectively gonna be a last book, and it's probably gonna suck just statistically. Most books are not that good,
Yeah.
but it's probably gonna be like fan fiction or something too.
Yeah, you know the longest book ever written is a Loud House fan fiction.
Yeah, I heard it's not actually very good. Like some guy tried to
You
read
know,
it
yeah,
for the
no. I mean,
meme.
you can't keep up any semblance of quality for like I don't even know how long it is. It's
It's
in
like
like
longer than the
10x the
Bible by a
Bible.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy said that it's like not a lot of it is just like spamming lists of like this character, this character, this character for like a page.
Yeah.
It's
Again, you can't. It's hard to fill in
it's
the
so based.
hard to fill in the cement.
It's just the human spirit. I will produce.
Is the fanfic like? Is it like a weird like sexual fanfic,
I
or is it just like a pure like story?
I haven't read it. I think it's just like a story, but I mean it's so long. There must be some weird stuff
That's a
buried in
lot of dedication to commit to what, in my opinion, is a very mid cartoon.
it. Well, what if I don't know if it's about the cartoon or the show.
Well, that's what the Loud House was it's a cartoon.
Well, isn't it a cartoon based off a live action show?
I think the live action was made after.
I gotta look this
Ironica.
up because we're massively dating ourselves as being like little babies. I gotta look this up. Hold on.
The Loud House, the cartoon was made in 2016 and ran for 11 seasons.
I I thought there was a. It's based off a show. Am I wrong?
Oh no, the live action came out in 2022.
No, but was there not another live action before that they based the
I'm
cartoon on? Or am
not
I
sure.
coping?
They called it the live action is called The Really Loud House, a spin-off of the animated show
Or
premiered
the
on
real
Nickelodeon on
side.
November.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, wait, let me look on Wikipedia. It'll say like what it's based on if it's anything.
Let me look it up.
Uh let's see.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's just a complete but yeah, either way, I think probably about the
What was I
cartoon,
thinking of?
I don't know, but the live action spin-off that came after was like flopped, I think. Like people hated it.
How do you know? Did you watch it?
Well, no, I just like heard clownage.
Uh, you know some other.
I was a dabbler. I was a dabbler in the animated one.
You know the other comic.
I never watched the whole thing. I only saw a few episodes of it.
You know another comic that I was just thinking is kind of like XKCD.
What?
Saturday morning breakfast cereal.
I have not heard of that.
It's like very similar to XKCD, but with a more realistic art style, and it's just like one panel jokes, and there's like a lot of nerdism stuff.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Another one like that isn't it doesn't have as much nerdism, but it's sort of just like these one panel humor is the Far Side.
yeah, but it's definitely different than these. Also, that was a
Yeah, the Far
newspaper,
Side is
not a
also way
web.
drier. I don't find the Far Side to be very funny.
Also, it's a newspaper comic, not a web comic.
Yeah.
I like Doonesbury though. But you know on Doonesbury, one of the guys, the current arc is that one of the main characters is making a podcast.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Because his name is Mark Slackmeyer, and he was
Mhm.
he was an NPR host, but after the Trump cuts to NPR, in the strip he made like a Joe Rogan style podcast called Rollin' with the Bros, where he interviews different like bros. You know, like he interviews like
That's like happened. So this is a very
yeah.
interesting. It's like realistic.
He interviews like tech bros, billionaire bros,
Oh my gosh, The Simpsons hit 800 episodes.
Trump bros. And on the current one, he interviewed on the last edition. It's a weekly comic now. He interviewed a billionaire bro, uh, and he interviewed like a Trump like fascism bro and stuff. But speaking of cartoons, before you know do you know the cartoon Garage Band?
I think I've heard of it. I never watched it though.
It was like a one season or two. It was like a very short run Canadian cartoon, and I thought it was a goofy, but I did watch it when it came out. It's been with the
So
same
it
people who
wasn't
made.
it wasn't any good. I take it if it only ran for one season.
No, it was peak.
Oh, okay. So they just
Although
canceled it.
it's just
Whatever.
nostalgia. It's the same people who made Total Drama. You know
Okay.
that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was much more cartoonerish. It was about all these kids who have a band, a garage band, you know,
Yeah.
and they like get into incidents. It's basically the show. I remember it being kind of peak. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, that could be nostalgia, but
There's gonna be a last guy to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, hopefully it's freaking soon, bro. That show, like I just said, it has 800 episodes now.
There's gonna be a last Simpsons episode. Just eventually it has to die. Although it'd be kind of
The
funny if it
freaking what is it called? Their Halloween special that's like 35 years running.
Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, it's like Treehouse of Horror, like 88. Like we're like Cyber.
Actually, I heard that it's kind of getting better. Not like anywhere near as good as it used to be, but like I heard that it's actually like they have like ran out of ideas so hard they started actually being like creative and coming up with like very interesting episode concepts. A guy made it's the YouTuber Eye Patch Wolf.
No.
Oh, Super Eye Patch Wolf. He's a very popular Irish YouTuber who makes videos about like pop culture. And he
So
made
wait,
it
so he was talking about the new Simpsons.
well because he made a video essay like roasting how bad The Simpsons got, and then he was like, "Wait, is it good again?" And his conclusion was, "It's nowhere near as good as it used to be, but there are signs of improvement."
Is this just him, or is this actually people agreeing with him?
I mean, other people. I mean, just based on the IMDb, it seems to be getting better reviewed. I personally, I don't really. I mean, I thought it was all right, but I didn't like it that much. But the new episodes,
I never got into the Simpsons. I never got into most of
bro, it's
the
peak.
mainstream cartoons.
The Simpsons. Just watch it like seasons 1 to 10 are like extremely. There's not a lot of misses. Seasons 1 to 10. After that, it like very hardly falls off.
My favorite cartoon all time is The Amazing World of Gumball.
Yo,
That was my childhood.
that's a peak show. I have an
Yeah.
amazing
So
world.
yeah, I think that people said it fell off. I actually liked pretty much. I pretty much liked it all the way through. And then I've only watched a couple episodes of the new season they recently released. I'll have to finish that at some
Yeah,
point.
I haven't
But
watched the reboot at all because I really liked the series, and I have I have an unfinished fan fiction that's like 20 pages.
or you did not have to drop that on the podcast. I was like, you could have like completely chosen to keep that concealed.
It's not sus. It's just about the characters like doing stuff.
Yeah,
Well, we were talking about fan fiction earlier.
true. We were.
No, but I really liked the OG series, and I'm like a massive enjoyer. And I when I was younger, I made like drawings of the characters. And
I think that
and then I sat down to watch the reboot, and I was like, you know, I think we just gotta leave it in the past. And I decided not to watch it.
I was really sad when the show ended because I mean during the last season when the last season released I was finally caught up with everything, so I was watching the episodes as they aired.
Yeah, and they dropped on a cliffhanger.
I watched the last episode, The Inquisition. I watched it
Yeah.
at the day it dropped, and I was super sad where the universe just like ended.
Yeah, I don't know how they explain that away.
Yeah, I don't know either because it like what?
My favorite episode is the one where they become poor and then they have to do an ad for the restaurant. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I'm sorry.
They become poor for some reason, I don't remember, and they have to to get money. They're gonna like do an ad for the burger chain. I don't remember what it's called.
The Joyful Burger.
Yeah, and Gumball. They all have to sign it, and Gumball, out of principle, says he's not gonna sign it, and he goes on like 18 like rants. But basically, as they become poor, their world starts disintegrating because the show, like, it's very meta. The show loses budget because.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I remember.
And then at the end they do it. And my other favorite one is the Dodger Dar one.
Is the what?
The Dodger Dar.
Bro.
I also like the one where Darwin becomes like addicted to safety. I don't know. There's such a peak show. And I
Yeah,
agree. I don't think it fell off.
Yeah, a lot of people say season 6 was like actively bad. I disagree with that.
Yeah, but again, I haven't watched the reboot just because I think I gotta leave it in the past. It's just over for me.
Yeah, I watched 2 episodes of the reboot. It was all right. I might finish it at some
How
point.
were the new voice actors?
I didn't really notice much of a difference. They probably switched the voice actor again because it's been like 7 years, but I mean,
Yeah.
they probably kept the same voice actors for the adult characters, but for Gumball and Darwin, they have to make them sound perpetually 12 years old.
They've changed it multiple times.
Yeah, this is the problem with having characters in a show that long running that are supposed to stay that age, because when you have characters that are 12 years old and you have actors thus that are that age, they're gonna hit puberty in like a year, and so like the turnover rate is very high.
Although Bart and Lisa Simpson never got replaced because they were always adults doing child voices.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah. Let me get the. No, but there's gonna be a last Simpsons episode, and it's probably gonna be bad. But
I remember a few years ago when the creator of SpongeBob died. That was very sad.
oh yeah, I never was a SpongeBob enjoyer. I've seen like one episode in my entire life. Is it good?
I don't think the problem with SpongeBob is I think that like watching it like in its entirety is very goofy. It's not a very intelligent show. Like the humor
Yeah.
isn't very intelligent. I think it's funny in a vacuum, but I don't think it's I don't think it's very I don't think it's very engaging if you're like above like 5 years old.
Well, when I was in the target demographic, my dad banned me from watching it because he said it like lowers your IQ and it makes you. It's like because he's like it's like stupid.
Yeah.
He made me watch educational television,
Hmm.
and look how that turned out.
I had
Hosting
a
a
similar
podcast.
policy. I mean, I had a similar I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob. It wasn't because it was like unintelligent. It was just like my mom thought it like wasn't appropriate because there was like a lot of like you know, uh, potty humor as it were.
Bro, just like barely. I don't. It cannot be that bad that you have to get
I
banned.
know it's I don't know. I don't know. And I wasn't able to. I wasn't allowed to play Five Nights at Freddy's until I was I think 12
I mean, it's a very
for a
scary.
similar
It's a
reason.
very scary game.
It isn't though, and this is what I was trying to explain to them is they were looking on their like their middle-aged their middle-aged like white picket fence magazines about like concerned parents. It's like the lore about like the kids getting murdered that like comes up in the later installments of the franchise, and it's like you have to read between the lines. It doesn't get presented to you. Like you don't watch kids get killed. You're just like sitting in an office
Yeah,
like
but you get
fending off
jump scared by
animatronics.
the robots.
Jump scares that I'd already watched on YouTube time over and time over, watching like Dan TDM and
Then why were you playing the
Markiplier. Like
game
I
if
was
you
fine with
already
it.
if you'd watched play? I guess.
It was
Yeah.
just I think it just I couldn't articulate my thoughts because I was like a jit, but like
Yeah.
it was goofy.
Yeah, I used to instead of getting games, just watch Dan TDM play through them like Undertale.
Yeah, I mean back when you don't have any money of your own, you can't afford like consoles and things.
But I could have just asked.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think my parents would have bought it. I mean, like even getting Minecraft for a console or a computer is like 20-25 bucks.
Yeah, but
It's not cheap.
I was a very contented child. I never like asked for stuff. So whenever I asked for like, can I have this? They were like, yeah, okay, because you haven't asked for anything in like 5 months. So when I asked for Terraria and Minecraft Mobile, I got it. It was like $6 each, and I still
Yeah.
have both the apps. But there's gonna be a last iPhone. Speaking of mobile, and the last theme, which I think is the overarching theme of this episode.
Yes.
The last episode? Yeah. There's gonna be a last episode of this podcast. Might be this one, depending on how it goes.
Yeah. So am I a one episode guest or am I your permanent co-host? How
I
does
haven't
this work?
figured that out. I mean, what do you want?
I would come back again. I mean, you and I call enough that we could. It's not like we have to add much to our schedule. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
call on the phone, we section off the same amount of time. We just have to record it.
Basically the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I just can't. I mean, I can't think of
So
anyone
keeping things a
else.
little bit more professional and not revealing too much about our personal lives. That's the only difference.
Maybe Glitch.
Yeah.
Would be on
You
it.
could have. Yeah. We could get Glitchum on here.
Yeah, but yeah, you could be my my default. Because I really don't know if there's anyone else who would care enough. Anyway.
Also, hopefully we get the ball rolling here. If we could get any kind of user interaction in the
Zero
comment
views,
section that we can talk about.
0 likes, 0 comments.
It'd be great though, because I would like to spend time like interacting with viewers, or if like
Yeah.
there are things we could talk about, like bring it, because obviously this is a very guinea pig episode, right? But so we didn't really have a lot planned, and it was kind of awkward during the
Well,
first few minutes.
It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Should we, now that we're getting very meta, should we end the app?
I think so. I think that's a good length. I think that's a good length for a podcast episode.
All right. Goodbye, fellow average podcast enjoyers. And if you meet any average podcast fans, don't let them in.